Chosen one, pause for a moment and let your spirit settle. What you're hearing right now isn't a random message scrolling across your screen. This is a divine announcement, meant for someone who has been quietly wrestling with purpose, timing, and identity. You're not listening by coincidence. You're listening because heaven has marked you, and what I'm about to reveal carries weight. You are being prepared to become the first in your lineage, to rise into levels of wealth and authority that your family has never seen before. Not ordinary success, not routine prosperity. A calling wrapped in both financial elevation and spiritual assignment. A mantle. Chosen one, breathe that in. A mantle. This isn't hype. It isn't motivational fluff. This is destiny reaching into your life at a time when everything around you feels uncertain. If this is already stirring something inside you, don't sit in silence. Subscribe so you stay connected to the messages that strengthen you when battles get heavy. The enemy loves to distract you right when your confirmation arrives, so stay connected. Now listen closely. What you've been experiencing in your personal life hasn't been accidental. The isolation, the emotional distance, the sudden tension with people who once felt close, the way familiar spaces now feel uncomfortable. These things didn't happen because you did something wrong. They happened because God is repositioning you. You've outgrown environments that can't support where you're going. You've risen beyond conversations that used to excite you. You've developed spiritually to the point where shallow energy now drains you. When heaven sets someone apart for a mantle, separation always comes first. Chosen one, think about it. You've felt disconnected from certain people without any real explanation. You've lost interest in things that used to entertain you. You've noticed that people who once understood you now seem confused by your growth. That's not rejection. That's divine insulation. God is pulling you back so he can push you forward. Even your dreams have been shifting. You've seen visions of prosperity that don't match your current reality. You've imagined a lifestyle nobody in your family has ever touched. You've pictured success that feels almost foreign. These dreams aren't random. They're previews, indicators of a God-planned future. Many chosen ones watching right now have experienced these same spiritual symptoms. Waking up at odd hours with a heavy sense of purpose. Feeling pressure in your spirit like something big is coming. Doors closing that should have opened. Opportunities vanishing that looked promising. People becoming distant for no clear reason. Your spirit has been recognizing something your mind hasn't fully caught up to. Heaven is preparing you for a level of wealth with assignment attached to it. Not wealth for ego, not status for attention. Wealth that carries responsibility. Wealth that breaks cycles. Chosen one, what you've been going through lately has a deeper meaning than you realize. The people who used to feel close have slowly drifted. The conversations that once felt natural now feel forced. The relationships you thought were unshakable have started showing cracks you never expected. It might look like loss, but spiritually it's alignment. Every chosen, one destined to carry significant wealth and spiritual authority must pass through a season of separation. Not because God wants you alone, but because not everyone can journey with you into the mantle you're stepping into. Some connections are temporary bridges, not lifetime foundations. Think back over the last year. How many people have unexpectedly changed toward you? How many friendships faded without a clear reason? How many family members became distant at the exact moment your spiritual awareness started growing? This isn't coincidence. This is heaven organizing your path. Some individuals were never meant to see the next phase of your life. They were comfortable with the older version of you, the one who doubted yourself, the one who questioned your purpose, the one who wasn't aware of your mantle. But the version of you God is raising cannot be surrounded by people who are threatened by your growth. Chosen one, listen closely. Some people who said they cared actually carried quiet jealousy. Some who gave you advice secretly hoped you would stay beneath them. Some who acted supportive were observing your progress, waiting for signs of failure. God saw what you couldn't see, and he stepped in. This is why certain doors closed without warning. This is why connections ended suddenly. This is why conversations that once flowed now feel heavy. Heaven is removing what cannot go where you're headed. Not everyone deserves access to a chosen one at the brink of elevation. You may have wondered why financial breakthroughs kept slipping through your fingers. Money you expected never showed up. Deals that looked promising fell apart at the last minute. Opportunities you prayed for opened just enough to excite you, then closed painfully. These weren't failures. They were filters. God was filtering out every financial connection that would have corrupted your future. He protected you from partnerships that looked beneficial, but carried hidden motives. He shielded you from people who would have limited your destiny for their personal gain. When the mantle involves wealth, discernment becomes just as important as strategy. During this separation, something else started happening within you. Your spiritual sensitivity increased. Your discernment sharpened. You began noticing things you once ignored. You sensed energy shifts in rooms you walked into. You felt truth behind people's words. You recognized intentions without explanations. This is a crucial sign of your rising mantle. Chosen one, you're not imagining it. You're seeing clearly because you must. The path to a billionaire mantle requires the ability to recognize who belongs beside you and who must remain behind you. Now let me share something difficult but necessary. There is someone in your current circle who has been working against your elevation. Their smile is friendly, but their spirit is conflicted. They encourage you outwardly, but privately resent your growth. They offer help that subtly slows your momentum. This revelation isn't meant to create fear. It's meant to awaken your awareness. God is exposing this hidden opposition because you're stepping into a season where your vision must be protected at all costs. Not everyone deserves access to your next level. Chosen one, the separation you're experiencing isn't rejection. It's selection. Heaven is choosing who can walk with you into your billionaire mantle and who must be released. Chosen one, before anyone carries a mantle that mixes spiritual authority with major wealth. There is always a wilderness season, not a physical desert, but a spiritual environment where everything familiar is stripped away so the real you can emerge. This is exactly where you are right now. Your wilderness may look like confusion, delays, missed opportunities, or constant spiritual pressure, but in heaven's eyes, this is training, divine preparation for a life that will impact generations. Every chosen one who receives a mantle is shaped in places where no applause exists. When God prepares someone for extraordinary influence, He removes distractions and pulls them away from the noise. This is why so much around you has slowed down. You feel stuck on the outside, but spiritually you are being sharpened. In this wilderness season, you're facing specific tests. These aren't random challenges. They are divine evaluations designed to prepare you for the kind of wealth and influence that requires spiritual maturity. Let's walk through them. The test of obscurity. Can you keep working when no one celebrates your effort? Can you stay committed when nobody acknowledges your potential? Chosen ones are trained in silence long before they are elevated. Obscurity builds discipline. Discipline builds destiny. The test of delay. Every chosen one reaches a point where progress seems impossible. You pray, you plan, you move, yet nothing moves in your favor. This delay isn't punishment. It strengthens patience, and patience is the backbone of stewardship. Billion-dollar mantles require steady hearts, not impulsive ones. The test of misunderstanding. People question your choices. Loved ones doubt your path. Friends can't grasp what you're becoming. This misunderstanding isn't meant to break you. It separates you from the opinions that once influenced your decisions. You're learning to lean on divine direction instead of public approval. The test of silence. There are moments when heaven feels quiet. You pray but hear nothing. You seek answers but receive stillness. This silence teaches you to trust God even when your emotions don't feel spiritual. It trains you to move by faith, not feeling. The test of preparation. God asks you to prepare for a future you cannot yet see. You may feel underqualified, under-equipped or unprepared. But chosen ones are instructed to build, even when the blueprint isn't fully revealed. The test of integrity. How you handle small resources determines how God entrusts you with large ones. Your choices with little money reveal your mindset toward big money. The test of purpose. Can you remain rooted in your calling when comfort calls you away? Can you deny shortcuts? Can you stay aligned with your assignment, even when an easier path appears? Most people crumble under these tests, but chosen ones grow through them. This season isn't meant to destroy you. It's shaping you into a vessel strong, enough to carry both spiritual weight and financial responsibility. You're being stretched, strengthened, and reordered from the inside out. During this time, God is preparing a mentor for you, someone who understands the spiritual side of wealth, someone who has walked through both valleys and victory. They won't show up as a loud personality or someone seeking attention. They will come quietly, carrying wisdom with spiritual weight. You'll recognize them not by their appearance, but by the peace their presence brings. Chosen one, some of your toughest inner battles right now come from doubt about your worthiness. You wonder how someone with your past, your struggles, your broken seasons, could possibly be chosen for a mantle this large. But your questioning isn't weakness, it's surrender. Before God crowns a chosen one, he empties them of pride, fear, and self-sufficiency. Last night I sensed a deep shift happening for many like you. I saw generational chains breaking. I saw family patterns being rewritten. I saw you stepping into a future no one in your bloodline has ever seen. Your wilderness isn't wasted. It's forming the person who will carry generational impact. Chosen one, stay steady. You're being shaped for a destiny bigger than you imagined. The mantle is preparing you as much as you are preparing for it. Chosen one, as you move through your wilderness season, you've likely noticed an intensification of opposition. This isn't random. Every person rising into a mantle that carries both wealth and spiritual authority encounters targeted resistance. The higher your assignment, the more precise the attacks. Darkness recognizes potential long before the world does, and it will try to slow you down at every step. Have you noticed the dreams that feel unsettling? Dreams of being chased but unable to run. Dreams of losing important items or opportunities. Dreams where familiar faces suddenly feel threatening. These are not just stress or imagination. They are spiritual alerts, showing you where the enemy is attempting to interfere with your destiny. Every prophetic dream is like a divine GPS, directing you to avoid traps and align fully with your mantle. And there are people around you, 3 key individuals, perhaps, whose true motives are being revealed. One may carry subtle jealousy disguised as advice or encouragement. Another might silently doubt the vision you've been given. The third could fear losing control over the influence you are about to gain. God is not exposing them to punish you, but to protect your mantle. Chosen ones cannot carry monumental wealth or authority alongside those who would limit, manipulate, or redirect their path. This season also highlights moments where financial breakthroughs seem to vanish at the last second. Deals fall through. Opportunities dissolve. Resources disappear. These are not failures. They are divine filters, removing partnerships, connections, and paths that would restrict your ceiling. What feels like delay is often protection. Heaven is guiding you to align with channels that are fully compatible with your calling. Your sensitivity to the spiritual realm is increasing now. You notice the motives behind people's words. You perceive intentions before they're spoken. You wake up with understanding you didn't study. This discernment is not accidental. It's essential for navigating the billion-dollar territories your mantle demands. You must be able to distinguish between those who support your purpose and those who would secretly sabotage it. Chosen one, I want you to understand the importance of timing. At the exact moment you feel most vulnerable, when resources seem depleted and obstacles multiply, supernatural protection is arriving. Guardian forces are being stationed specifically to protect, multiply, and guide the wealth assigned to you. What the enemy intended to destroy becomes evidence that you are marked for uncommon financial destiny. Opposition is proof that your assignment matters. It is confirmation that you are stepping into light the world cannot yet bear to see. Your wilderness is teaching you patience, discernment, and endurance. It is testing your character so that when wealth arrives, you handle it with integrity. Every spiritual alert, every troubling dream, every moment of opposition is designed to strengthen the vessel that will carry your mantle. This is not a time for despair. It is a time for preparation. The chosen one is never defeated by these tests. They are refined by them. Chosen one, remember your path is unique. Your elevation is destined. Those around you are being filtered. Opposition is being neutralized. Dreams are delivering strategy. And your spirit is being sharpened for the moment when protection, wisdom, and provision converge to launch you into a mantle that combines wealth, authority, and purpose. Chosen one, your journey toward a billionaire. Mantle now brings you face to face with what I call the false door. This door will appear beautiful, perfectly timed, and convincing. It will show up when your patience feels stretched to the limit, when your resources seem nearly gone, and when you are desperate for confirmation that your breakthrough is near. It promises everything your heart desires: immediate abundance, public recognition, influential connections, or rapid success. But it is a test, not your true destination. The false door is subtle. It doesn't look wrong. It seems logical, practical, and reasonable. And because your spirit is tired, your natural mind will beg you to step through. You may hear others say, "Take the opportunity, it's your chance." But chosen one, do not be fooled. Walking through this door may grant temporary gains, but it compromises your spiritual alignment. It may dilute your calling, attach you to conflicting values, or separate your wealth from the purpose God intended for it. Many future billionaires fail at this stage. They gain material success, but lose the mantle. The difference between those who walk through false doors and those who inherit the mantle lies in discernment. True chosen ones wait, trust, and step only when heaven signals. Sometimes the messenger comes in unexpected form, someone who seems ordinary, someone whose voice carries a weight you cannot explain. Listen carefully to these divine warnings. They are protecting your assignment. After rejecting the false door, you enter the midnight hour, the darkest and most painful part of the wilderness. This is when everything seems to collapse simultaneously. Financial resources dry up, opportunities disappear, relationships dissolve. Even your spiritual disciplines may feel empty. Prayer seems to hit a ceiling. Worship feels mechanical. Scripture appears distant. This is not abandonment, chosen one. It is preparation. The midnight hour is where your dependence shifts fully from human validation to divine guidance. The isolation and struggle strip away reliance on others, forcing you to lean entirely on God. Your spirit is being trained to operate beyond circumstances, beyond emotion, and beyond visible evidence. Here you develop the resilience, faith, and focus needed for the mantle. At the peak of this season, when everything feels lost, a divine encounter occurs. Not necessarily a dramatic vision, but a quiet, unshakable knowing. It settles deep in your spirit. I have called you. I have equipped you. I have not forgotten you. The mantle is yours. This encounter transforms your spiritual posture. You stop begging and start believing. You stop questioning and start declaring. You stop seeking escape and start becoming capable of handling what lies ahead. Chosen one, the midnight hour is the final qualification for your billionaire mantle. It is the crucible where ordinary endurance becomes extraordinary authority. Your darkest moments are directly connected to your greatest elevation. What feels like despair is actually the refining fire preparing you for unprecedented wealth, influence, and spiritual power. The mantle cannot arrive before this purification is complete. Chosen one, after the midnight hour comes the moment of the divine exchange. This is the sacred point where God asks for your final surrender, not of your sins, your habits, or your past mistakes, but of your last comfort, your remaining safety nets, and your backup plans. For some, this means leaving a secure job that limits your calling. For others, it's investing your last resources into a vision that seems risky or uncertain. This final surrender feels risky to your natural mind, but it carries perfect peace in your spirit. When you release control fully, something supernatural begins to happen. 7 mysterious keys of wealth wisdom are deposited into your spirit. These keys are not taught in business schools, nor understood by financial advisors. They include 1. The key of divine timing, knowing exactly when to move and when to wait. 2. The key of heaven's economy, operating beyond earthly limitations. 3. The key of kingdom partnerships, recognizing connections appointed by God. 4. The key of supernatural problem solving, seeing solutions that others cannot. 5. The key of blessed hands, turning ordinary resources into extraordinary provision. 6. The key of kingdom, positioning, arriving at the right place at the perfect moment. 7. The key of wealth transfer, receiving what God has reserved for you. These keys transform your thinking. Childhood limitations and poverty mindsets dissolve. Fear of wealth, false humility, and restricted vision vanish. In their place, a new framework emerges. You start seeing opportunities where others see obstacles, patterns where others see confusion, and value where others see nothing. Your spiritual identity shifts. You operate with authority, presence, and clarity. Your decisions now ripple through lives, systems, and communities. Immediately after the divine exchange, the first fruits appear, the initial manifestation of your wealth mantle. This is where prophecy meets reality. But be prepared. The first fruits rarely arrive in expected forms. They may come as unexpected money from overlooked channels, side projects suddenly flourishing, or opportunities that seemed minor turning into major breakthroughs. God often uses these unconventional methods to teach that your wealth is not standard, and your mantle is unique. The first fruits carry a critical test, generosity beyond logic. This isn't about tithing alone. It's about releasing resources when it doesn't make practical sense, giving when your own needs remain, and investing with faith, not certainty. This test reveals whether your pursuit of wealth is for personal comfort or for kingdom impact. Those who pass experience accelerated increase. Those who hesitate find momentum slows. Next comes the divine strategy room, a sacred space where heaven downloads supernatural wisdom. In this room, you receive fully formed business concepts, investment opportunities, and solutions to problems that have stumped experts. These ideas often defy conventional logic. They come with clarity, precision, and the confidence that they are divinely ordained. This intelligence positions you to operate in ways others cannot, aligning your wealth with kingdom impact. Chosen one, as you step into these first fruits and divine strategies, you begin to operate in a new dimension. Your obedience transforms ordinary circumstances into divine confirmations. The seeds of your billionaire mantle are now taking root. Chosen one, after the divine exchange and first fruits, your journey accelerates into what I call the table of influence. This is where doors open to rooms of power and decision-making that were previously inaccessible. These aren't ordinary networking opportunities. These are divinely orchestrated positions where choices affect thousands, even millions, and where your voice begins to carry weight in systems that shape society. At the table of influence, you will encounter individuals who can accelerate your vision. They may be investors, mentors, or leaders who recognize the mantle on your life, but not everyone is aligned with heaven's plan. Some may offer shortcuts to success that require you to compromise your values. They may promise immediate wealth, public recognition, or partnerships, but at the cost of your purpose. This is where discernment becomes essential. Chosen ones must be able to see beyond appearances and evaluate whether a connection multiplies impact or divides loyalty. This season is also a test of integrity and patience. Heaven is carefully placing you in situations where your choices reveal whether you are pursuing wealth or carrying a mantle. Those who take shortcuts often gain temporary success but lose spiritual authority. Those who wait, trust, and act only according to divine guidance see influence expand without compromising their calling. The difference between a billionaire with a mantle and a simple millionaire is not the money, it is the alignment of wealth with purpose. Divine partnerships begin to form at this stage. These are not accidental collaborations. They are connections specifically arranged by heaven. People will appear who understand your assignment before you even explain it. They recognize the potential in your life that others miss. These partnerships open doors that could not be accessed alone and provide wisdom that accelerates your progress. They operate under supernatural guidance, moving resources, knowledge, and influence directly into your path. As you navigate this season, opposition will intensify. Those invested in old systems, old power structures, or limited thinking will attempt to undermine your progress. You may face criticism, resistance, or covert sabotage. Yet, chosen one, divine protection surrounds you. Spiritual boundaries form around your wealth, your vision, and your influence. The challenges you face are meant to refine your leadership, clarify your strategy, and reveal the loyalty of those around you. At this stage, heaven is testing your ability to balance influence with integrity. The rooms you enter, the partnerships you form, and the resources you steward are all measures of your readiness for greater authority. Every decision you make here lays the foundation for generational impact. Those who pass this season become not just successful, but transformative leaders whose influence reshapes systems, industries, and communities. Those who compromise diminish the scope of their mantle. Chosen one, the table of influence is not about personal recognition. It is about extending heaven's principles into the world. You are being positioned to lead with wisdom, integrity, and authority that blends spiritual insight with financial stewardship. This is your calling, to be a bridge between divine purpose and earthly impact. Chosen one, as you move beyond the table of influence, your journey now brings you to what I call the wealth gates. These are 7 major breakthroughs, each one more powerful than the last. Arriving in rapid succession, they are not ordinary financial successes. They are supernatural wealth transfers that defy human timing and conventional logic. You will witness resources, opportunities, and favor manifest in ways that seem impossible. Yet each step aligns perfectly with your mantle and divine purpose. At the wealth gates, a connection will form that brings immediate abundance. An idea you've carried for years will find its perfect moment. A resource that seemed unattainable will flow to you effortlessly. A limitation that previously blocked your progress will vanish. These blessings often arrive through unexpected channels to remind you that your wealth is not conventional and that your mantle is unique. Heaven uses these unconventional methods to prove that your rise is orchestrated by divine intelligence, not mere luck. Alongside these breakthroughs comes the sacred responsibility of managing abundance. Many people handle lack with grace, but few are prepared to steward wealth at this level. You will be tasked with creating systems, establishing boundaries, and making decisions that honor both spiritual purpose and practical wisdom. This is training for your mantle, ensuring that your influence, resources, and vision expand without compromise. As wealth increases, hidden adversaries may attempt to claim credit or manipulate your progress. But divine boundaries surround you. God protects both your resources and your purpose, ensuring that your mantle remains intact. Chosen one, the kingdom agenda now becomes clear. Your wealth is not an endpoint. It is a tool to transform systems, communities, and generations. Heaven will guide you to invest in ways that break cycles of poverty, fund initiatives others fear, and support voices that challenge injustice. Your resources will empower sustainable change, demonstrating the principles of kingdom economics in action. What you build will extend beyond your lifetime, creating a legacy that transforms not only your family line, but entire communities. This is where the Council of Mantled Wealth Carriers emerges, a select circle of fellow chosen ones, entrusted with similar authority in both financial and spiritual realms. These are not networking contacts. They are divinely appointed collaborators who share your vision, values, and calling. Together, you will form alliances that reshape industries, reform education, restore health systems, and innovate governance. The Council operates in unity, guided by divine wisdom, to ensure that the wealth and authority you carry fulfill their ultimate purpose. Finally, chosen one, the generational impact becomes visible. The cycles of limitation and scarcity in your family line begin to break. Children and future generations speak differently, dream boldly, and carry themselves with confidence. Your mantle creates a pathway for spiritual and financial authority. to transfer to those who come after you. What you accomplish today sets the stage for decades of influence, ensuring that the billionaire mantle you carry is not just personal success. It is the foundation of a legacy that spans generations. The Throne Room Commission is the culmination of this journey. It is the divine acknowledgement that your preparation, endurance, and obedience have positioned you as a true billionaire with a mantle. Every trial, every delay, every test has prepared you to step into your calling. Your breakthrough is not only financial but spiritual, strategic and generational. Chosen one, the mantle is yours. Carry it with integrity, wisdom and faith, knowing that God has appointed you to change history.